I forgot the first rule of being a criminal defense attorney and, advising a client not to drink the night before the plea. That's when I knew regulatory law would be the place for me. But I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to talk about a subject that's near and dear to my heart, which is all the great work all of you are doing out there to get the best results for your clients. If the clients are licensed health professionals, you just have to be aware there are going to be some collateral consequences that come from virtually every conviction or plea that you enter. And that's what we're here to really talk about, is kind of the full range of things that you need to be aware of. So what are the goals of this presentation? If I leave you with nothing else, I think the top two things are really the importance of client intake, and then Ron Chapman II made sure that I was going to talk about the DEA gambit, and we'll talk about that later on. But there's a particular, I won't say it's a tactic, but there's something that happens after your client has a felony conviction and they're a licensed health professional that the DEA institutes. But let's talk about what some of these goals are. The importance of client intake, knowing your client. This is particularly important because just like law school issue spotting, you need to know if your client has a health professional license, and then if the answer is yes to that question, what other questions stem from that. So during client intake, whether that client intake is conducted by you during the interview process, or whether that intake is done by a paralegal within your law firm, it's primarily important that you have a question that relates to whether they're a licensed health professional, because if the answer is yes to that key question, then the other questions that follow are, what other states are you licensed in? Certainly the majority of your clients will only be licensed in Michigan, but certain physicians, whether they had a residency in another state and just kept that license, or if it's a nurse that does travel nursing, they could be licensed in several other states, and those states will have differing laws regarding how to report that conviction, how to report arrest, and we'll get into some of those issues. Where are you currently employed? This is particularly important primarily for physicians, but certainly residents in training, they will have an employment agreement that will dictate what needs to be disclosed to a hospital, which is their employer. And certainly, the next question, are you a member of medical staff? Physicians that are members of medical staff, there's also dentists, podiatrists, and allied health professionals that are members of medical staffs. There are bylaws that dictate what needs to be disclosed, the time periods for disclosing that, and some of those disclosures require arrests, some of those disclosures require convictions to be reported, so it's important to know those things going in. Are you board certified or certified by any accreditation organization? In order to be a member of medical staff, physicians absolutely need to be board certified in their specialty. But board certification organizations also will have their own notification requirements. So what you don't want to have happen is a board certification revocation, because if that occurs, then that physician will have a great deal of difficulty staying on the medical staff of the hospital. Medicare, Medicaid provider, you need to know whether the individual that you're representing is a Medicare, Medicaid provider, because there's certain reporting requirements that stem from that. Commercial insurance provider, Blue Cross Blue Shield, and there are also going to be requirements regarding reporting convictions within